So the last time I was actually in this room up here talking to people, it was middle school students, and I was talking about Twilight. So I'm going to try to do a little bit better than that in terms of being a little more intellectual with a few opening remarks that I have. But welcome everybody, and I'm struck by the energy that I just heard in the room, and all of us in here who teach. You know, it's very much like walking back into the classroom, right? For the first time after the summer, there's that great bustle of energy, and it's so exciting, and I'm very thrilled to be here. It makes me think, too, though, that I'm also mindful there are a lot of folks in here who've had interesting summers and done different things across the whole spectrum of human life. And you'll know that because you'll talk to one another, but there are colleagues in here who have dropped children off at college for the first time and shed a tear. There are colleagues in here who I think have taken care of sick loved ones. There are people who've had some fantastic, more holiday-like vacations on the summer. But it's a whole spectrum, and I'm mindful of that as I hear this energy because we're all coming at this school year from a slightly different place, maybe. So with that said, I've just got a few remarks, and I'm not going to do what a colleague of mine told me happened at his school where the new head spoke for an hour. I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm an hour and 15 minutes. Looking out at this room full of people is something I've been anticipating for many months. But to be candid, there are times when my feelings veer towards what I think a ninth grader must feel like when they wave goodbye to mom and dad. And that's a mixture, I think, of pure optimism, and I'm not sure what the other word would be, but I'm just going to call it dread. There's a line I recall from a Walt Whitman poem. I can't recall the exact poem, but the speaker in the poem uses a phrase and talks about gladness to the brink of fear. It's a wonderful paradox, a wonderful oxymoron, and I think that's more poetically captures what I'm talking about today. So welcome. This is the 170th session of this great school, and I've had an exhilarating summer getting to know most of you in this room in one-on-one meetings and becoming more deeply knowledgeable about the complexities of the school during 2 different administrative retreats. What I've learned is that all of those wonderful things you were telling me during my candidate interview process were actually true. There's a spirit of community at Williston that is, to use the kids' words, authentic. The enduring paradox of any community is, as everyone knows, that they comprise diverse individuals, and each of us brings a particular set of experiences to bear on the responsibilities that we hold. But as members of this community, and no matter what our personal differences may be, we're united in our obligation to serve our students and to further Williston's traditions. All of us here have answered a calling to fulfill what I have always believed to be the most noble of professions. And you will hear later on this morning of my first goal for the year to talk about our mission statement. You're going to be involved in that at 9 o'clock. As most of you have probably already figured out by now, I'm passionate about the practice of teaching, the content of curriculum, and creating opportunities for the students on our care to grow intellectually, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. When these areas all line up, schools thrive. We are, in my opinion, authentic learning communities.